Jazz is living off of nickels and dimes, telling people what's on your mind. Jazz ain't nothing but soul. Hi, I'm Kim Clark. I'm a bass player, and I've been playing professionally for 33 years in New York and around the world with different artists such as, Yusef Lateef, Joe Henderson, the National Black Theater, 20-something years with defunct Lester Bowie, Joseph Bowie, Lester Bowie, many people. And I met a wonderful mother and daughter team in 2003. They owned a cafe in Brooklyn. And I thought that was wonderful. Their story was they walked into a room and they said, I feel jazz here. But they didn't know any jazz musicians. They didn't know anything about jazz. They just felt that the room just called, for the music to be there. So they invested, and they took an empty room and turned it into like a little haven. They kept it immaculately clean, and the food was good. It was at a very small working area, and they had always positive people. And in the middle of a far part of Bed-Stuy that's mostly hearing hip-hop and maybe some reggae, you never heard any jazz over there. They managed to educate the whole neighborhood about jazz and about their love for jazz as they met the musicians that came through. So when I fell through there, I was subbing for someone, and they said, "Oh, you're the first woman musician that we've met." So I said, "Yeah, well, I know a lot of women musicians. I've worked with a big band, Kit McClure Big Band, and Kit McClure is a great saxophone player that lives in the city, and she's probably hired at least everyone who's come through town at one point or another." So anyway, so we said, well, Women's Month is coming up. What can we do to celebrate Women's Month? So I said, well, why don't we do a festival? And she said, yeah, let's do a festival. Let's start planning it. And so long story short, we started this thing that we call the Lady Got Chops Women's Month Jazz Festival. And the reason why the name is Lady Got Chops is because at the time there was a hip-hop song called Baby Got Back. And I thought that it would be hip and new to say Lady Got Chops. As chops in jazz vernacular mean an ability on your instrument, to really play hard. And I knew a lot of women that were really out here playing hard but not getting the kind of recognition that they were due. So, and you see them in the pits in Broadway, and you see them schlepping all around. And so this particular venue, the owner, the club owner, and her daughter, they wanted to keep it a strict jazz format. And so we did that as much as we could for the 7 years that they stayed open. They closed in 2009 for health issues and for other issues. But it was, everyone misses the place. It was a wonderful, lovely, lovely venue. And so I said, well, gee, am I going to have this festival? What are we going to do? I saw something on Facebook about a Chase grant, and I tried to apply to get the grant and continue, but alas, that didn't happen. So I spoke to some folks at the Jazz Foundation, and they decided, well, you still want to have the festival? We'll give you some money to try to help you out. And so they gave me $300, and I was able to parlay that into my relationship that I had already established at Vista Print. And I went on, and people would call me and tell me, hey, are you going to do the festival? And I said, yeah, I guess I'll do the festival. And I started building the relationship with different artists who were willing to share some of their regular bookings with me. And I built the poster, the original poster, on Facebook. And as I would add more artists each day, more artists would say, hey, I want to be part of this. And if I didn't have a job for them, they said, well, can you advertise me? And I said, sure, just give me your information. And I'd take their picture and clip it and put it on this poster. And it grew and grew. So what started out as, like, say, a month of weekends only turned into, in the last 2 years, 64 events in about 48 clubs in the last 2 years. And so we had the disaster in Haiti came, And so I said, let's try and help out with this since we were doing so many things all over the city, and the only thing that was connecting us was us being part of Lady Got Chops and having these posters and banners. So we started to auction them off and raise money. So we gave about $1,400 to the Medicines Sans Frontiere in 2009 to help out the people in Haiti. And then this year we didn't have that kind of an issue, so we just still celebrated. But I want to do it all in one space, and so I'm here at Kickstarter trying to raise money to rent Symphony Space, and I have a budget that's located below this video, and I hope you'll see that it's an effort, that's an honest effort, and we've been trying to upkeep and help put the give women that are not given enough exposure a platform to perform. I'd like to do it such as the lovely festivals that I performed in Europe, where it's like a family atmosphere almost. You'll have food, and we'll have staff to have professional lighting and a real stage, and a crew and a background band, and perhaps maybe honor an elder like Marion McPartland or a living legend from the Sweethearts of Rhythm, or Bertha Hope, or Paula Hampton, or any other women that are around locally, or even internationally. Some people have already asked me, but I never had a budget to be able to bring them over. But I wanted to at least have one star and have hotel accommodations for that person. So this is quite a bit of money, and that's the reason why I'm asking for $9,000. Gonna stretch it out and see if I can get a local backup band, and also provide a place for other folks to come in and meet and greet and give you all gifts, whoever is kind enough to thank you, kind enough to give a donation. So once again, I'm Kim Clark. This is the Lady Got Chops Women's Month Jazz and Music Festival, and even dance. And if we have enough support, I'd like to include aerialists, because I know Michelle Dauternac, and she's got a wonderful aerial troupe. I would like this to be really, really big, because this is our 10th year. I wanted to add, Latin groups. We had Latin groups before. We had gospel artists last year. We had blues artists. We've had a scat band. We've had a string quartet. We've had all different kinds of things. And you can go to the websites that are listed below and see posters and advertisements from the former performances. So once again, Happy New Year, one and all, and see you at the Lady Got Chops Women's Month Jazz Festival. The Lady Got Chops Women's Month Jazz Festival.